What's going on, guys? Welcome to this video. In this one we are going to be getting Anthony's C33 Laurel running. In the last one you guys saw us get the engine and gearbox in, and throughout this video we ran into a few issues, but we prevailed in the end and we fired this thing up. First thing we're going to tackle in this video is we're going to sort out the fuel system in the rear of this car. We took it all out, thinking it was going to go in Anthony's car, just like everything else we took off this car, but that's all going back in.
Love it. All that work, just for more work. Oh, it's so dirty in here.
A bit dusty on the old grass corner.
I wonder why. It's not a big gap somewhere that was spitting dust everywhere. At all, I swear. Cheers, mate.
Do you remember how things went?
Nope. That went right there. That's that right there. That's about as much as I remember.
Alright, we're going to work this out off camera and we'll get back to you. So we've got a lift pump in our fuel tank, which goes onto that there, which sends fuel into there. And then we have this one here, which is our return back to the motor. Goes to this line in here from the return. And then we have this line here, which is our feed to our rail. And we have our other line. Where did that go? Right here. So this one goes on there like that, and then this end goes on to our fuel filter.
Well, we can't figure out where this one line here goes at all.
Oh,
no
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, we're not quite sure where that line goes.
I'm not too sure where it goes.
Yeah, we just can't for the life of us.
Someone in the comments help us, please.
Yeah, we shouldn't be working on cars. We don't know where that one goes. So we just made an executive decision that we are now going to be running the water meth on this car again. Initially we weren't going to, we were just going to run it at about 600 horsepower, but because Anthony has a big ego and he wants to stroke it, because this car is getting dynoed on Corey's dyno, it's not going to make 600 horsepower because his dyno is a heartbreaker.
Yeah, so we're aiming for like 620-ish, pretty much what it was making before.
On low boost.
I was going for high boost.
Yeah, but you said it was around like 620 before, but that was 620 on low boost. It's now going to make 620 on high boost. In the real world, it's about the same power, but as I said, Corey's dyno it reads lower.
Yeah, I couldn't accept being under 600 horsepower. That's just like that's a big limp cock.
Ego stroking.
Yeah. Where's your over 600 horsepower car, mate?
Don't need it. Goes to the other one. But you're better off doing it around the back.
Yeah. I'm just working it out again first. That is to there. Alright, got it. Fuck. Oh, where'd the hose clamp for that go?
Do you not see two hose clamps right there?
Yeah, two hose clamps. Here and not that one. Having a brain fart. Oh.
That one to go there.
Oh, there's another hose clamp on this one. I didn't see that. Alright, nah, never mind. I'm having flashbacks. I remember this being horrible to pull off.
Do you know what would probably make it easier?
Lube. Dipped my finger in the magic. That was too much.
Flicking it around everywhere. Don't do that.
Or what?
Sam will roundhouse kick you.
No, good.
Ha 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 ha! She on your shit.
My legs don't like those.
Leg day?
Yeah, mate.
She's gonna have beefier things in these.
Are you aspiring to have legs like mine?
Just try and keep it on nice one size.
No, you just have tree trunks.
Update. I've got the fuel pump and the fuel filter mounted. We've just mounted it the exact same way that initially was done in the first place, and that's with tech screws. 700 horsepower and tech screws.
I've said it before, say it again. There has been some RFB shit done to this car. I'm not proud of it.
Or was it? You didn't do it.
I know, but I'm still not proud of it. I own this car.
I reckon once this motor and gearbox comes out of this car and the new motor and stuff eventually goes in, when we go to do the panel and paint, we fix all the RFB shit and make this thing. Anthony's halfway done with all of this stuff. He put this line on the wrong side.
Hey, don't be calling me out like that. Nobody is going to see the inside of this boot apart from several thousand people. Nobody in person gets to see that.
No, definitely not. But yeah, he's pretty much wrapped up on that. Still got to mount the surge tank itself down to the floor. I think that was just done with tech screws again as well, wasn't it? How good.
That can go on top. Go on. It went on.
Yeah, go on.
I know.
It's a new day. We're back working on Anthony's Laurel. Fingers crossed that tonight we should be able to fire this thing up. There is not much left to do. We've got a few things we've got to button up in the engine bay, mainly get all the boost lines and stuff together. We've got to get the radiator in, and we've got to sort out the turbo drain. Then we've got to plug in the ECU, and then theoretically this thing should fire back to life again. So we're just going to get straight into it. We've got a few other bits and pieces we've got to do as well. But yeah, no, we're just going to start ticking away things, and yeah, I'm excited to hear this thing run. Sure you are too.
There's no downpipe.
Oh yeah, it's gonna sound like crap, but at least it's gonna be running.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It'll sound like a tractor, mate.
The forged tractor.
The forged.
Next build incoming. I don't even want to think about how much money I've spent on Phoenix radiators.
Wouldn't have been so bad if the first one you had to get done was actually decent.
Yeah, and ended up spending like another $1,000 odd on another radiator that is mint, we swear.
Well, the
radiator's good. The shroud is fucking stupid.
Well, it's not the shroud. It's where the fan was drilled. It should have been drilled offset so it doesn't hit things, but it does, and that, and the fact that it's so close to it. But
although, when this radiator goes in the 14, just cut these off.
Yeah.
Weld it up and you'll get the AN fittings.
Plan is to use this radiator in the S14, but yeah, we're gonna lob these off and put some AN fittings on there so we can run braided hoses from the front to the back, make a better shroud with much beefier fan. Well,
yeah,
fans.
It'll be twin spal fans.
Yeah.
Is that the one? Yeah.
Best in the biz. Oh mate, you did half a job. Connect it up.
Oh mate, you think I come here to work with someone?
I help you. I get my hand down the dark, tight space.
Oh, that helps. Basically, I'm a master mechanic.
Congratulations, you installed a radiator.
Not even my first time.
Before anyone asks what this is for, this is part of a V-can that we cut up and taped it to the hose so it doesn't rub against the throttle position sensor and cut into the hose, because just the way that this design is, this doesn't difficult.
Work very well.
No, but I mean it works. It just it could be a lot better. This setup is not staying in this car for very long, so we're just gonna leave it as it is. It's RFB because we're just doing it together like this so we can go do skids
on a closed course track, of course.
I mean, yeah, we are doing this for chrome.
Yeah.
All right. Take to your expensive motor with a blowtorch.
That's just generally the easiest way to bend metal like that.
No, it will be. Alright guys, this is definitely what you should not do, but do it. I don't really want to be responsible for blowtorching something that shouldn't be blowtorched. I'd put a glove on.
You're in your safety bullshit, mate.
I mean, you don't have to wear a glove, but it might hurt your hand a little bit.
I've had my hand sizzle before, it's not that nice. Fuck, my fingers are too fat.
We should really definitely change the channel name to Cuzzy Customs at this point. That definitely moved.
Yeah, I think that was bang on. It's hard to tell.
Yep, no, that'll be sweet. So you guys should be able to tell. It's probably quite dark, but it now actually lines up with the fitting on the block. So we've got a bit of hose here that I had lying around that will connect those two up. We'll have a turbo drain sorted.
Oh, I stabbed my lip with a piece of wire. These won't strip this, so I have to do it with my teeth. I'm sure there's better ways.
Probably.
Littering all over your workshop, mate.
Oh no. So this is what happens when we don't take our time and we decide to just cut something out instead of trying to take it out nicely.
Once again, I didn't think this was going back in the car ever, so I even have a factory dash for it.
Yeah. So what he's doing now is going to connect the power wire back up for the power tune dash. So the other side of this is...
This plugs into there, and then this is a wire that we cut somewhere in the dash of the Laurel that I got to find.
Oh, that's right, because that was hardwired in, and we didn't just unplug that.
That's why
from
we had
that.
to cut it.
Oh yeah, that's right, because we needed that to go back. Okay, I get it now. It was a necessary evil at the time.
I mean, if we wanted to do it properly, we could have like taken it all the way back to wherever it was hardwired, and then taken it out from there. And fuck that. It actually pains me to look on the inside of this car now, because it was like the one good part, apart from the motor, was the semi-clean interior.
I mean, it can be clean. It just needs a vacuum.
Yeah.
And a de-dust.
But for now, it looks like every other seizuring again, RFB piece of shit that exists in this country. Oh, right.
So Anthony got the power wire for the power tune dash sorted out. I'm just cutting up a little bit of hose so we can connect up our turbo drain to the fitting on the block.
Should have seen my wiring job, mate. It was spit.
Twist and tape.
It was twist, lots of twist, and then it was roll the wire back around, and then it was tape, and then it was do it again, and then it was tape it all together.
So fancy twist and tape.
Fancy twist and tape. I reckon 4 inches. It's not big enough. 5-inch downpipe? Question mark.
Ah, god damn it! Just backing this out.
No win.
Good thing I got another.
Cheers, Joel. I'll give you 69 cents for it.
Cheers.
Bit of lube, maybe?
It's got lube on it.
Oh. Bit more lube?
Strong man.
It's quite hard.
On another episode of Big Man, Tight Places, Anthony's trying to get the hose clamps onto the hose because we didn't put them on when we put the pipe back on.
This is painful. I've got the tops of the struts stabbing me. My wrist is jammed. Have I done it? Have I done it? I think I've done it. I haven't done it. Fuck. Still don't get it. How did you fit between there?
Okay, what do you mean?
Before the manifold and turbo was there. Like, how do you fit in that?
I'm a small man.
You were like, the turbo is pretty much as wide as that.
I've already got it on.
Oh, you're cuddling my turbo. So here's a good size comparison of how big this turbo is. Joel's head, my turbo. Or even Joel's arm, the outlet, basically the same size.
Small man, big turbo.
Joel's actually a massive man. He's like 6'2", so you know, this is a ginormous turbo. What do you, yeah, 6'2", 6'3", something like 120 kilo.
Yeah. You got that. I see what you're meaning about the strut top stabbing you.
Yeah, and then add twice the weight on top of that. you just have to flex on it.
Being a small man and being able to get into tight places probably isn't really a flex.
I mean, it's very handy for this stuff.
Oh, it's handy.
I can just reach high shelves. And
Yeah, that I can't do.
And not fit in, yeah, but you can climb to those high shelves. You don't weigh a lot, so it's less likely that the shelf's going to fall and land on you.
You know what's funny? A lot of people, like, in the videos don't realise how short I am. It's actually, like, a comment that I get a lot is, oh, you're a lot shorter in real life.
Yeah, the first time I met him, I was dumbfounded. I thought he would have been like maybe like 5'10", 11. Nah, he's a wee man.
5'8".
Yeah.
For years I used to
6'3" on a good day.
Yeah, for years I used to say I was 5'9", and then I finally came to accept the fact that I'm only 5'8".
Fair enough. Accept what you can't change.
That's it.
We're just gonna ignore this. Imagine all this work and there's all sorts of shorts and shit everywhere, and
I mean, it ran when we pulled it apart, so I just got the ECU loosely mounted where it's going to go. We still need to bolt it in. We've got 2 more plugs to connect up to the power tune dash. We got this one here and the other one, which is somewhere there, but we got cords to run. I've just also done the vacuum line to the map sensor.
Where do I run this through? This was like run right
behind.
Alright.
Right, so we've got everything to the point where we think we are good to start this thing up. Anthony's just currently connecting up the battery. First, what we're going to do is we're just going to turn the key, see if we're getting power to everything, and then we'll probably disconnect the CAS, well, the trigger kit, crank it over a little bit, just build up a little bit of oil pressure, then we'll connect that back up and see if it'll start.
No power.
Nothing at all. Right. So we fitted a few things and we still couldn't get any power. We noticed when we actually went to pick the car up from Anthony's parents' place that the battery had a lot of battery acid around it. So we think the battery itself might actually just be cooked. So we've taken the one out of my S14. We're just throwing it in now.
Oh.
So next day on, Anthony left last night and I did a little bit more looking around and figured out what the problem was. So the battery's been relocated into the rear of the Laurel, and what my car has is it has like a little stud under the dash where the main battery power cable runs to that, and then the rest of the power runs off that stud to the rest of the car. On the Laurel, it's different. The power cable actually goes all the way up and goes onto the starter motor. I didn't see that when I was putting that stuff together. There's 2 other wires that go to the stud on the starter motor, as well as the power wire to actually trigger it. That's usually how it is, so I didn't think of anything of it. But yeah, because the battery goes onto the starter motor as well, meaning there's a 3rd wire that goes on it, I didn't see that, but I put it on now, and we got power now. But we've realized that there's a bit of a fuel leak in the back when the fuel pumps prime up, so we're gonna have to fix that and then we can fire this thing to life. So we found a little issue. The hose that was actually on this car that went from the lift pump into the surge tank is actually too big. It's somewhere around here, right here. So that's a little bit too big. It literally just slips over the fitting on the fuel cradle here, super easy. And there should actually be a little bit of tension there. So even when you tighten it as much as you can with a hose clamp, it just can't seal it up properly and it's leaking a little bit from there. We actually noticed that there was a little bit of a fuel leak towards the end of force and rotors, which we were gonna look into and sort out. But because we ended up pulling the car apart, we never actually looked into it. But that's what it would have been. The hose was just too big. And it actually had 2 hose clamps on there too, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not us. It was previous owner things.
Julian.
So I had a couple of hoses laying around. We don't have enough hose. Unfortunately, we don't have time to run to the store and grab some new hose because it's like 5 o'clock on a Friday and this thing is actually getting tuned on Sunday. Luckily, I had 2 different hoses with some fittings, and I've got some fittings here that we can join them together to make up what we need. Not ideal, but it'll do what we need it to do. Yeah, look at the stance on this guy.
Do I look thick?
So we got the fuel leak sorted. We're gonna crank this thing over for 30 seconds or so just to try and build up a little bit of oil pressure. Then I'll connect the trigger kit back up. We'll fire this thing to life. All right, hit it.
I've got no throttle, so this thing won't start very well.
Sounds like a tractor.
Sounds like an absolute piece of shit.
Well, boys and girls, this thing officially runs. We've still got a bit of work to do, but yeah, like I said, it's Friday, and we are taking this car down to Timaru on Sunday to get tuned. How good?
More power, baby. Oh no, not more power.
I mean, The same power, baby, just lower reading.
Let's go for like 2 more horsepower.
And that's going to wrap this video up here, guys. Appreciate you all watching. You know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. The next video, we are going to have this thing buttoned up and ready for the dyno. And the video after that, it's dyno time. Stay tuned.